Welcome back to the Inner Alchemist TV. In today's video, we're going to be taking a look into Destiny Payton of Love and Marriage Huntsville. Before we get started, please like the video, make sure that you're subscribed to the channel, and that you have your notification bells on. Starting with Destiny, I have my spread pulled. I think I told you guys to like the video. If not, like the video or dislike it, whatever you like to do. And yeah, let's go ahead and get started. So Destiny's opening up with the Fool card, and then I clarified the Fool card and got, not clarified, but crossed the Fool card and got the Three of Swords in reverse, and then I clarified both of those and ended up with the Ten of Pentacles. So I know that this reading is about family or money, marriage, relationship, things like that, you know what I mean? So we're gonna open it up and see what's going on. So Destiny, I feel like her spirit is showing a lot through this reading. Honestly, when I was opening up the spread and I was trying to tap the energy, I felt like initially she was blocked, and then she was more so open up to letting me see what's going on, you know what I mean? So I feel like Destiny does have a bit of a guard, but her guard is not real. What Destiny is coming in with this Fool card is as somebody who actually has like a beautiful soul. Her aura is very positive, very light, very pure as far as like a spirituality is concerned, and very open-hearted. And even when I think about how I was watching the previous episodes, when Destiny came on the show, initially her eyes were bright and her smile was bright, and then later on it just started to get very angry, you know what I mean? It changed, right? But with her coming in as a Fool card, this shows that definitely she has a kind of like innocent and even naivete about her. Now the thing about the Fool card though is that it is kind of like a, I don't know, it's like a Peter Pan syndrome. You know, it's about somebody who's older but maybe doesn't want to grow up or is afraid to be mature. And so even though they have like this kind of pure spirit, or they're kind of like a child mentally, they still have that arrogance, and that arrogance is thrown off because they don't want to take accountability for their actions, and they act careless, right? But it can be misconstrued because this is not a person that's necessarily like premeditated or inclined towards evil. They more so just have like a swagger about them and like a flamboyant carelessness about the way that they move. And like I said, just not want to take accountability for their actions and not want to grow up. And I think that a lot of that has to do with pride. The Fool card definitely is somebody that thinks they look good, you know, so that could be affecting it as well. We know that Destiny is gorgeous, but that may be going to her head in some type of way, right? Because she feels like she's, I don't want to say above the law per se, but with the Fool card, you can get the vibe of a person who doesn't learn how to take accountability because they're always getting away with something. You know what I mean? They can be like, I don't know, they can be tricky a little bit, you know what I mean? A little bit deceptive. But it is also a person that loves very deeply, can be very loyal. And like I said, spiritually pure, not somebody that's evil, you know what I mean? Just somebody that is arrogant, don't care about the rules, and like I said, thinks that they're going to get away with it because they always have, you know what I mean? So I feel like this card gave me more of a perspective on Destiny, especially as it pertains to like getting in trouble with the law. I feel like this means that she basically did something that has to do with some money for sure. Ten of Pentacles is money, a business, a family, and I feel like she did it because she felt like she can't be touched, you know what I mean? And that's just that, right? And maybe she just met her match. Maybe she met her match. So with the Three of Swords in reverse, this is like saying that Destiny, I feel like she's supposed to apologize for something, and it's almost like saying that she don't like to apologize because in order to protect her heart, she likes to intellectualize situations. But when she intellectually analyzes it, her mind diverts to ways to get out of it, and it doesn't think about like her role or her accountability in a situation. I think that's how she protects herself. But there's like some type of argument or some type of thing or boundary that she crossed, and when the Three of Swords is in reverse, it's like saying that it's her job to apologize first. And even though Now the husband is here and he is showing as being petty, but it was her fault, whatever the situation is. And I don't think that she wants to apologize. You know what I mean? However, it's like saying that you're not going to be able to move forward on an emotional level until you take accountability. You know what I mean? She has been hurt too, though. You know what I mean? She has been hurt. I think her emotions are a mess, or they've been a mess for a recent time. But the thing is that her heart is broken because she ever had a heart. You know what I mean? So I don't feel like Destiny is a heartless person. Do I feel like Destiny is mean? I think so, because she had the Queen of Swords in another reading and it's here too. So I think that there is a cold exterior, but like I said, I think it's to cover up more so like a pure or naive spirit, but one that, like I said, is kind of like arrogant, you know what I mean, or above the law, you know what I mean. So I feel like she's contradictory, and I feel like that's the reason why a lot of people don't understand her or don't care for her, you know what I mean. I think that's just what it is. Now, what's moving in the background, she got the Five of Pentacles and the Page of Pentacles in reverse. So this is bad news about money. Like I said, I feel like, I don't know if Destiny took some money and she got ostracized because of that, and she needs to apologize for that, right? Because the Ten of Pentacles is about business. The Five of Pentacles to me is about loss. Sometimes it's about regret. Sometimes it's about being left out in the cold, abandoned. But in all actuality, or across the boards, it's about being destitute and being in a period of like hardship or being displaced. Like I said, I don't know if when she was with the guy she was with, she got kicked out of the house or something like that. And maybe that's what led to her resentment or anger and led to her taking something. But this looks like the loss of a home with the Five of Pentacles and the Ten of Pentacles. And then I have the Page of Pentacles here also in reverse. Now, the Page of Pentacles generally can represent news about finances, bad news at that, but sometimes it can also represent a child. And with the Five of Pentacles, this to me can represent like a child that's maybe like autistic or has some type of like learning, like is developing slowly. So I don't know if she has like an issue with her son that she's dealing with, but the Five of Pentacles can represent illness. And with the Page of Pentacles, this is like an illness or a learning disability is what I want to say. At least that's how I'm interpreting those two cards. And I don't know if it's hers, because it could be her, but generally the Page of Pentacles is a child. So, but this maybe have something that she just found out. Sometimes the Five of Pentacles can represent illness or being sick, but Destiny don't have no illness cards in her spread. The closest she gets to illness is having the Hermit card, which could represent an old man. Which would be like a sick father. Plus she has the Emperor here, the King of Wands. These are all father cards, so there could be an issue there. But outside of that, I would say it as it's like a child with a learning disability or bad news about some money. Or like I said, she was also, I don't know, like when she was, you know, I don't know, maybe they like had some type of like issue with their child, you know what I mean. But it looks like whatever it was, she ended up losing something in the house or being put outside of the house, right? Five of Pentacles is financial problems, definitely telling you to watch your money, be conservative with your money. All that running around not saving, that's not gonna work. Now I will say though that the Five of Pentacles can also be about divine intervention. And I can sometimes see that as like passed over loved ones or your ancestors really kind of like looking out for you or help being like on the way, but you needing to have some type of faith, you know what I mean? Or you needing to like, you know, just wait or just, you know, just hang in there, just hold on a little bit longer, like help is on the way or something like that. And I think that has to do with money. Now, the Seven of Cups did come here as well in this unconscious or things that are moving behind the scene position, and that's like a card about temptation. And it's like, to me, it's like you at a crossroads or was at a crossroads where you could have chose to go this direction or that direction, and you was being advised by divine intervention to not do any of that shit, and you took the bait and did something. But the something that you did like violated one of like the 7 deadly sins, or meaning that you did it out of like greed or materialism or anger or something like that, and so then you have some negative consequences for it that you now don't want to take accountability for, but the cards are saying that if in order to move forward you're gonna have to. You know what I mean? So I see it as that way as well. Now the seven of cups is also somebody who's struggling with like inner demons of a spiritual nature. You know what I mean? So I don't know if Destiny, she has some inner demons, and I think it has to do with family or childhood. Especially with this Page of Pentacles and this 10 of Pentacles. With the 5 of Pentacles, I don't know if this is even something where she grew up with a sense of like not having something, but the male figures in her spread are strong. You know what I mean? There's not a huge sense of poverty that she grew up with per se. That's more so showing as something she's experiencing right now, right? I feel like Destiny is clouded by like materialism though, or material greed or something like that. Especially with the 7 of Cups, it's making me feel like she goes for illusions, whether it has to do with a man or whether it has to do with money. Definitely a sense of being a lot more than what you are, but I think that has to do with that Fool card and that sense of like arrogance. I think that there's something also misguided about her, but I feel like that comes from a lack of maturity. You know what I mean? With her not being consistent with her age. You know how they say act your age and not your shoe size? It's like that. But I feel like the 7 of Cups is like, it's like a card about needing to exercise some type of self-control and not keep going back down like the routes that you're going down. You know what I mean? Now, Destiny do got the 3 of Pentacles though, and the 3 of Pentacles is about like public recognition, validation. So I feel like there's something that's gonna come out after an argument, because it's clarified by the Knight of Swords, and the Knight of Swords is about an argument. This is angry energy. This is somebody that's charging in, and I guess basically like trying to dominate her in a conversation. But it looks like whatever argument that she's having, whether she's arguing and they're arguing together, it's like a very vindicating argument, in my opinion, with the 3 of Pentacles, because the 3 of Pentacles is a card of like recognition or endorsement, right? And so when I think of endorsement, I think of like people co-signing you, or people saying like, yeah, we get it, or yeah, we understand. You know what I mean? I guess it could be maybe like her building like some type of community or alliance or something like that, because the three of Pentacles also collaborates, you know. So I feel like maybe she's working on building like a team of people to collaborate with, but it's more so that these people provide her maybe a sense of validation. You know, maybe they're like taking her side, or maybe they're on her side in something. There's something that they recognize that she feels like is overdue. Like people should have been seeing this in me. You know what I mean? Or people should have been seeing my energy, or been seeing me coming. I mean, you know, with the 7 of Cups, you have delusions of grandeur though. You know what I mean? Like I said, it's almost like you think you're better than what you are. But that's the Fool card energy. The Fool card is arrogant, you know, so that's just her spirit. But beneath that, it is pure. It's not like it's pure. It's not that, you know what I mean? But for the most part, this 3 of Pentacles is like a round of applause, but it's after speaking her piece on something, or arguing with something, or saying something like in an aggressive way, or letting something be known. You know what I mean? And then it's like people finally getting it, or people finally understanding it. So I don't know if this has to do with, I know there was rumors of her supposedly having like a conversation with the girl Sunny on the show. So I don't know if this is after they duke it out, people get like a more respect or more understanding of her and how she feels. It could be something like that. But it's just giving me a sense of her getting that like recognition, or her getting like some type of vindication, but it's like after a fight or something like that. Then moving to the future, we have the King of Cups in reverse, and we have the King of Wands. So this is 2 kings. So I feel like this is a conversation. Could be with the boss, could be a professional conversation, or some type of meeting or something. Maybe about the direction that she's going in. The King of Cups is like in reverse. So that's somebody that's being like overly emotional. And I think that maybe she like plays off the energies of what others are going to do. Now, we could talk about it because the King of Wands is here, right? Now, the King of Wands is a husband. So I'm thinking that this may have to do with her ex, what's his name, Liberic, because the King of Wands is in her spread, but it's also like has its back. It's in a future position, but it has its back to her. You know what I mean? And it's facing the money, the 10 of Pentacles. And that makes me feel like maybe this person was like focused on their money or their family, especially because it's the King of Wands. And the King of Wands can be very like efficient, you know what I mean? A very accomplished person, or a professional person, or like a boss, you know what I mean? But at the same time, he's very demanding, you know what I mean? And with Destiny coming in as being like Peter Pan, like just somebody that's old and don't want to grow up, I feel like maybe there was like a clash of energy there, because he was like going up against her arrogance, but not her spirit, you know what I mean? And maybe he was a bit forceful with her, you know? And I feel like maybe she was like too emotional with him, because we have the King of Cups here in reverse with the King of Wands. Now, the King of Wands, though, they have a temper, you know what I mean? And they're very judgmental. So I feel like maybe he was very frustrated with Destiny. Like I said, she don't want to take accountability. She relies on her looks to get her by. She's very arrogant, but pure, you know what I mean? So I think she was getting manhandled, you know what I mean, in a way, just because she was like acting contrary to who she is on the inside, which is not how she puts out, you know what I mean? I feel like Liberic also with the King of Wands is somebody who felt like he was always right. Maybe he didn't listen to her. Like, honestly, I'm getting a vibe like he took on like a father, like he was acting like her daddy or something. You know what I mean? But it is crossed by this King of Cups energy, and I just can't deny the fact that this looks like some petty type shit. You know what I mean? Like, this looks like somebody that was like, I don't know what he's doing to her, but whatever it is motivated by like revenge or vengeance or being petty. I feel like he's self-centered too, in a way, you know what I mean? And there's something with the King of Cups in reverse. I would have to even go as far as to say there's a certain level of instability when it comes to Liberic too, and I think it is a temper issue, or I don't know, he flies off the handle, but he's like very judgmental. King of Wands is Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius, but crossed by that King of Cups in reverse. I don't know if Destiny was like playing with his emotions or he was playing with hers. You know what I mean? But there's a negative connotation when it comes to emotions, but then there's like high energy when it comes to dominating, you know what I mean? Or being like domineering or like shutting people down. You know what I mean? Yeah, I don't know. That's weird, right? So Destiny's coming in as the Queen of Swords and the Two of Cups. So I feel like maybe during their relationship at some point she became cold. Maybe she cut him off. Sometimes the Queen of Swords, I don't know, when I look at this Queen of Swords and this Two of Cups, I'm getting like a feeling of ghosting energy. So I don't know if Destiny used to like maybe disappear. Maybe she wasn't like maybe she wasn't emotionally available to him in a lot of ways. I feel like they turn their back on each other with the King of Wands facing left and the Queen of Swords facing right. I feel like they turn their back on each other. You know what I mean? But maybe in two different type of ways. You know, I feel like with this Queen of Swords, Destiny tried to cut off her love or cut off her emotions or cut off her faith or belief or trust, maybe in a relationship that they had. I feel like initially she was confident in a relationship, but I feel like that was more out of a feeling of being naive and being attractive. But when she realized what was going to be requested of her, I don't feel like she was like ready to stand up to the plate in that. However, I will say with her coming in as a Queen of Swords, she was fair in a relationship, and she had a right judgment when it came to the barrack or whatever she's saying about him. It's not a lie, it's true, and she's being fair about it. Destiny cannot be dominated, she can't be controlled, and I feel like she was dealing with somebody who was controlling or trying to be controlling, but she's very strong. Like she what do they call it, like she has a lot of fortitude, you know what I mean? So dominating her is not going to be easy, and plus it's something about her where she don't want to show weakness to other people, even though I feel like on the inside she's very emotional, especially with this King of Cups in reverse showing in the spread. There is emotion, but I don't know, I feel like it's hidden. I feel like it's hidden deep inside of her, you know what I mean? But I feel like the way she was raised was more so like to gear herself towards structure and order, you know what I mean? But really she was like more of like a creative soul, or I don't know, maybe even very like a feminine soul, like a feminine, quiet, beautiful, or innocent soul, especially with the Two of Cups being here. That's like, to me, it's giving soul, you know what I mean? I feel like with the Queen of Swords and the Two of Cups, I feel like this is showing her soul, you know what I mean? It could even be showing her in need of a soulmate, or her looking for that perfect partnership, but at the same time she's closed off, or like I said, emotionally unavailable and cold, you know what I mean? So it's hard for her to generate that. She can be intimidating when it comes to the opposite sex or even her friends, because people can't get a read on her. But again, like I said, it's because on the inside, spiritually, she's pure, bright, innocent, naive, but externally she's cocky, arrogant, and thinks she's all that. She really does think she's all that. And honestly, with her cards, she is coming in as all that from a physical perspective, but spiritually she's like destitute, you know what I mean? Even though, like I said, she does have like, it could be a mother, you know, like her mother passed away. There's definitely somebody on the other side that's looking out for her. I don't know. I know when I first started reading tarot, you know, when I was negotiating for my gifts and stuff, I was like, I do not want to read dead people. Like, I don't. But I feel like more and more I'm being like called into that. Like, I never felt like a medium, or I never had no desire to like look into the other side, but it's been like coming to me, and I'm like, oh God, I hope that's not what's calling me. Because I don't want to talk to dead people. I don't. But when you get an assignment, I guess you got to take it, right? So we'll see where this goes. But anyways, let me get back to the ranch. I feel like Destiny, you know, she I felt, you know what? In her relationship, she was like way too argumentative. You know what I mean? But I feel like it had to do with her. She know how to articulate some shit. I'm gonna put it that way with the Queen of Swords. Like, she knows how to say some things. You know what I mean? But at the same time, I feel like maybe she was like stirring up drama in a relationship. Maybe not for the sake of it or not on purpose, but just the shit that comes out her mouth is not easy to overlook. And with this King of Cups, there is some emotional energy. I feel like it's both of them, really. The King of Cups in reverse, coupled by the King of Wands, to me, it's looking like Destiny has some type of like emotional power or emotional hold over the dude, and he had a bad temper. So maybe you could say she was like pushing his buttons on purpose. You know what I mean? And because he was emotional, whether about her, he couldn't keep himself together. You know what I mean? And maybe now him having some distance in between the situation, now he's like trying to get vengeance, or he's just trying to be petty with her. You know what I mean? I feel like she about to go off too though, because the Page of Swords, like they be talking they shit, like, you know what I mean. But at the same time, she's still being called to exercise some type of self control, or she's maybe on her square in a way where she can't really say the type of shit that she want to say because she has to exercise some self control. Maybe because she's, you know, on probation or out on bail or whatever it is, she can't turn up like she would, because she got the 5 of Wands and Pentacles and three of Pentacles, 2 of Pentacles, and two of Cups and Emperor. Like, this to me looks like a work organization or environment, and where it's really competitive. And maybe for material reasons, because she is showing us, like, I don't know if she homeless, but I don't know, that's coming in my mind twice. Or she just may not have a place to stay that she wants to stay, or maybe she's living with family, or maybe the family home got lost or something like that. But there's something, there's a money problem for sure. And then coupled with that, she has like this Hermit card, you know what I mean? Now, I don't know if this is like, I feel like this Hermit card is in her hopes and fears. And I feel like this is her surrounding herself with like older mentors, or maybe somebody who she feels is in a position to help her or give her some type of like spiritual guidance. It's hard to think about your spirituality when your I guess resources or whatever, I don't know what you call it, like your essential needs are not being met. It's hard to cultivate spirituality under them conditions, I will say that. But yeah, so that's what's going on with Destiny. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. Yeah, don't forget to like the video, make sure you're subscribed to the channel, that you have your notification bells on. Check me out on the Inner Alchemist at Etsy. Yeah, and I'll see you guys on the next one.